In this video, I'm going to talk about providence. So, to start with, I want you to know that God did not just set everything in motion and go away. All right. In fact, God continuously creates. He didn't just start creating and stop. God also holds His creation in existence. So we kind of say that God created the universe in a state of journeying, right? It's journeying towards a greater perfection because God continually creates within it. Things are imperfect because we are still being created, but in a kind of interesting little sense, we can also say that in a way things are perfect right now because God's plan is destined to be fulfilled, right? The process of our creation is a part of that perfection, right? In God's plan, we are God's co-workers, right? We know this because God gave us intelligence and knowledge of right and wrong. So it gave us the ability to understand and work for or against God. We also receive free will, which is part of God's plan, that we have free will. We can't, free will is important. We can't love unless we have free will. It's not love unless we love out of free will. So, as co-workers in God's plan, we do our part, and God does His part. And we shouldn't try to do what belongs to God, and we shouldn't expect God to do what belongs to us. All right. If God gives us certain capabilities and talents, we should consider that an invitation from God to use those capabilities and talents for good. There are many things also that are completely out of our control, and we need to leave those to God. We need to trust God, that God knows what He's doing, even if what is happening looks wrong. That being said, we can also pray. With prayer, we can and should ask God for mercy for ourselves and for each other, so people face fewer hardships. With prayer, by the way, that's an integral part of how we cooperate with God and God's plan, right? When people work together, they need to communicate. And so that's part of our nature, that we must communicate with God, ask God for things, so that we know for our part that we need God. You should notice that the most innocent man, Jesus Christ, was crucified by the Father's design. It looked like the worst possible act, but we know that it worked for the greatest good. So we should trust God. So some might ask, why doesn't God help in some of these things? God doesn't help in cases when we are trying to go about life without God. So what we are required to do is keep God first in everything, pray always, and love and obey God. All right, so in the next part, when I continue with God's providence, I'm going to talk about the question of why evil exists. So may God bless you.